looking at our daily 5 factorising, day 9. So each of these have our 5 types of factorising, and you can pause the video now, have a go at the questions, and then watch it once you have had a go and check your answers. So looking at the first one, we have a common factor. Those two terms have a common factor of x, so we do x outside of 9 plus y. The second one, we're using our grouping method, so we look at the first two terms, and they have a common factor of 2 outside of a plus b. And then the second two terms have a common factor of y outside of a plus b. We can now see that those two have a common bracket of a plus b. That can go out the front, and inside the second bracket goes the 2 plus y. The third one is a difference of 2 squares, so we know that our pattern is m plus n, m minus n, or we can write m minus n, m plus n. Doesn't matter the order of those brackets. The next one we have is a monic quadratic, so we can write down our a, b, c. Our a is 1, that's why it's a monic. It's got a coefficient of 1 for the x squared term, or n squared terms in this case. And then we have a b equals 2, c equals minus 3. So our AC is equal to negative 3, our b is equal to 2. So we're looking for two numbers that will multiply to give negative 3, but add to give positive 2. So to get a negative, we need one of them to be positive and one of them to be negative. So if we do 3 times negative 1, when we add 3 and negative 1, we'll get positive 2. And when we multiply 3 and negative 1, we will get negative 3. Because it's a monic, because that a is equal to 1, we're able to put that straight into the brackets and write n plus 3 and n minus 1 as our factorised form. The next one, we have a 3 as the coefficient, so it's not going to be exactly like the one we just did. We'll have to use that extra step. So our a equals 3, b is equal to negative 2, and c is equal to negative 1. So our AC is equal to negative 3, and our b is equal to negative 2. So we're looking for two numbers that will multiply to give negative 3, but add to give negative 2. So like we had up here, a positive and a negative, if we switch that round and make negative 3 and positive 1, negative 3 times positive 1 will give us negative 3, and negative 3 plus 1 will give us negative 2. We can't go straight to our brackets though. We have to replace that middle term with those numbers that we just worked out. So we're going to write 3y squared, take 3y, plus y, take away 1. And we could have written it as plus y, take away 3y. The order doesn't matter for those ones. Now we look at the first two terms. They have a common factor of 3y. Outside of y take 1. Plus here we've got a common factor of 1, y take 1. So we're then able to write 3y plus 1 in one bracket and y take 1 in the other bracket.